Carl, what's your thoughts on poetry?
I've never really been a fan of it.
There's a surprise.
It's sold in a bad light. It's a bit sort of... a bit gay, innit? I mean, it
Okay.
depends what sort you're talking about, because maybe there's poetry out there that I haven't heard.
There's some poetry gayer than others.
Yeah.
War poetry can't be gay, can it? That was
I haven't
people,
heard. Go on.
people fighting in the trenches and can't be gay. They weren't gay. They were writing to their sweetheart. I don't know his name. Might have been a bloke. I don't know. But
So was it a sort of a... what sort of poem was it? Was it sort of a limerick, sort of a...
no,
like,
it was. Well, there's famous ones, Wilfred Owen and Siegfried Sassoon, and they're very moving. They're about, what usually happens is that they talk about why are we here. This is, we've been sold a lie here, and they really started seeing war in a different light from their point of view in the trenches. Famously, some of them died soon after the,
But I
they'd
prefer
written
a
the poem.
proper letter. No sort of crypticness. That's the problem with
Right.
poems.
Okay,
You
so
read
you'd
it and-
have been disappointed to get Dolce et Decorum Est through the post, would you? You'd have just said, what are you trying to say, mate? What's the weather like? When you're coming home? Did you get my socks?
Well, yeah, sometimes life is a bit like that, and it's like, say what you mean.
Right. Well, then you have just wiped all art off the face of the earth if you literally just say what you mean.
No, I'm just saying in a letter. Say if I was a woman and my fella was fighting in a war.
Right. What's your fella's name?
Harry.
Okay, so Harry, let me get this right. So when were you married?
About 1935.
1935. So you've been married about 4 years.
Yeah.
Harry, why don't you go off? Oh, you're a woman, aren't you? You don't. Okay. So what did you see in Harry? Why did you like Harry? Was he
He just was like funny.
butch?
He wasn't that butch, but that
No.
didn't matter back then, did it? In the war,
No. And
he
you.
took everyone.
But what did you say when Harry said to you?
Well, I thought it was coming because a lot of our friends
Right.
ended up having
Did you
to
just
go
hug
there.
him and say don't go or something?
No point, because that would have just made it tough for him. So, what's the point? Just go with it.
But if he
I
had
cried
written...
after he went.
You cried after he went?
That's what you do, innit? You wouldn't do it in front of him. He's got to go to battle.
Okay, so your man goes off to battle.
Right. Then I get a letter from the Colonel saying, "Oh, bit of bad news. Harry's dead." Now I get a letter in the post.
He said what he meant, didn't he? In the
Well, yeah, and they would do, wouldn't they? They wouldn't fanny around saying, "Oh, he was on the warpath and the cloud went dark." I go, "What? Just tell me what happened. I don't want a weather forecast."
he got shot at the arse and the bullet came out his head.
Right. Now, the Colonel, he would just tell me the basics. Now, because he sent his by
Telegram?
telegram, they sent a telegram. The letter I get from Harry has been stamped, so I get it late.
Oh, okay.
So I get a letter from Harry after he's died.
Yeah.
Right, and you know he's dead.
I know he's dead, so I get
Right.
this letter with his handwriting on. I'm devastated because I was just getting over his death.
Yeah.
It's all brought back to me when this letter drops through the post.
Well, yeah, 3
Right.
days and you're pretty much over it.
It's Harry's handwriting.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what's this?
What's
now
he
I
written?
open it,
Yeah.
and instead of saying things are bad here, socks are damp, everything's grim, it's cold, I'm sick of it, there's a poem. It wouldn't feel like it was from Harry.
Well,
Because it's not in his words. Poems are never in the person's words.
But didn't you know Harry was a poet when you married him and made love to him
No, I
that
only
night?
picked it up because other people were doing it. Something to do in the trenches.
But when he carried you over the threshold, Carl, and he laid you down and gently kissed you, didn't he say any? Didn't he ever?
He must have whispered some sweet nothings into
No,
your
it wasn't
hysterical
like
red
that.
head.
It wasn't
No,
like that. Straight
no.
to the point. It was like, get your knickers off.
That's one of the weirdest fucking scenarios I've ever heard.